Good morning, everybody, and welcome to our MXGP TV studio show here live from the MXGP of France. We're at Saint-Jean-d'Angely, and myself, Lisa Leyland, obviously always in position. We've got our first guest, Brent Van Donnick, in here as well. Also on the show, we have Arno Tonus and Eric Sorby, former racer, now coach and trainer. And so it'll be interesting to catch his views a little later on. But before we meet Mr. Van Donnick, Lisa, the trilogy is about to come to an end. We've been to Mantova, Portugal last week, and here in France.
I know, and then we have a week off, and then we have 3 more, Russia, Latvia, Germany. 6 in 7 weekends, isn't it? So it's pretty busy for us.
Tough schedule.
It
and
is,
I think Brent also maybe has a Dutch Championship on Thursday this week as well.
Yeah, I'm not sure yet if I'm going to ride, but yeah, I think so, because it's good training, and yeah. I always think it's better to race than go practice somewhere.
So he's also very busy. Well, look, let's welcome him in now officially. Brent Van Donnick from Team Red Motor, Asa Motor, Honda. And Brent, great to see you. I don't know, really, riding with a new number this year. We're so used to seeing you with 172. I know we chatted about it briefly, but why the number 32 this year for our viewers that aren't aware?
Yeah, I mean, I've been riding with the 172 for so long now, and I thought it was nice to get a new start. And it also has something to do with my grandpa. He passed away last year, and yeah, that's why I wanted to change. And of course, my teammate was happy also, so he could keep his number.
Yeah, Matthijs, of course, last year's European champion. But you mentioned teammate. You are on a new team, Honda Red Motor, Asa Motor. How is it? How have you gelled with them this year?
Pretty good, actually. I felt really good right away when I met them. It's really like you really have a family feeling there. I mean, Alfredo is having the team now for some years already, so they have also more experience. That's good. And yeah, until now, everything is going good so far.
Well, there's been a couple of standout performances for you so far this year. There was a 6th in qualifying in Balkansward. We just got it here. How
nice and warm that day as well.
How important was that for your confidence?
Yeah, like since this year, I'm feeling much better again. I really like the bike, and I feel like I can still do even more than that, I think. Like last weekend also, I felt pretty good, and I mean, still a long season, and I think I can get back to where I came from some years ago, actually.
And of course, the follow-up to that was the 9th in race 2 in Trentino. I guess despite a little bit of inconsistency, do you feel that you do have the speed to challenge for those top 5s or even top 3s?
Yeah, I think so. You always need to be careful with what you say, but I mean, I'm not a good starter, you know, it's been always, but I mean, it's getting a little bit better, actually. They made quite some improvements on the bike also now. And I mean, like Mantova was not in my hands. We had some issues with the bike there because I crashed twice, and I mean, that was a really bad weekend for me, 2x0. So I felt bad after that, but yeah.
But last week looked promising. You know, the second race in Portugal, 6, running in the sharp end, battling with people like Thomas Olsen, championship leader at the point. I guess that felt pretty good, though. You know, after those 2 DNFs in Mantova, and then all of a sudden you come out with a good result in that last race there.
Yeah, I was really happy with that. But even still, that first moto was still in my head. I crashed twice the first lap, and then yeah, they were just gone. You know, I was so far behind the second last rider, even. So I mean, yeah, second race I had a decent start, and that's what you need. You know, you need to get in the front from the beginning, because these guys are so fast, even from place 20. You know, it's even hard to come back from there. But I mean, if I can get a decent start, I can run with the top guys.
I was going to ask actually, what did happen in the first race? First lap crash. Was it the first corner or?
Second corner.
Ah, the top of the hill.
Yeah, I crashed with a few guys, and then. In the same lap, I crashed again, but that was my own fault actually in the downhill, and I hurt myself a little bit, my wrist, but yeah, it was okay.
Right. Okay, well, apart from decent starts, what's the goal from now until the end of the season for you?
Yeah, just ride a lot. Yeah, I mean, like that second moto, you know, be in front with the top guys, and maybe get a podium. You know, that would be nice. But yeah, and get a little bit more consistent, you know, also to you know, get some decent stars and finish 6th, and yeah, I mean, in that area.
Well, two things you mentioned, consistency and starts. With those good starts, if you can get around the first 2 or 3 laps, first 10 minutes of the race, that's half of the battle, isn't it? You know, just getting in there and running that pace up front, and that gives you that belief, that confidence that you belong there, and then you do it for 10 minutes, then it becomes 12, then 15, then guess what? You've done a whole moto.
Yeah. Also, because even if I have a better start now, the first 3 laps are hard for me because I'm not used to that, you know, to that pace the first 3 laps because it's going really fast.
Yeah.
So, but I think when we get a few decent starts, I can get used to it, and then, can get some good results.
All right.
Okay, well, Brent, we have a question for you on social media, and this one's from Wim Seigers 1986, and he says, what are your plans for next year as you have to move to MXGP, and do you hope to race the Motocross of Nations in Assen?
Yeah, for next year we'll see, you know, first get this done, you know, this year, I mean, and will be not easy because many guys need to go over to MXGP, so we'll be full for sure, so the only I mean, only option is to to get some good results and show what you can do. And then for MX-On, I love to race MX-On, but I mean, like, Iago is doing really good, so for sure he's first pick, of course, you know. And but I did ride once on a 450. that was pretty cool. But yeah, we'll see, because it's still a long season. Everything can happen, you know, like some riders get injured or whatever. So we'll see.
If you had the option, if Johan Boonen called you up and said, we want you on a 450 in the open class, for instance, would it be a yes?
For sure, yeah, directly.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You enjoy riding the 450?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. I was riding all winter. I was riding all winter with the 450 already, and I'm also one of the bigger guys, I think. Yeah. So fits me pretty well, I think.
All right. Well, look, Brent, we're out of time. Thanks for joining us here, Team Honda Red Motor, Assen Motor. Have a good day, have a good weekend, and of course we wish you all the best for the rest of the season as well. And you never know, we might see you at the Motocross of Nations in Assen for Team Belgium. Well, look, our second guest is in position, Arno Tonis, of course, Monster Energy Volvo Yamaha MXGP. We'll catch up with him in just a few moments, but first let's check some highlights from MX2 Race 2 from the MXGP of Portugal just 1 week ago. Jorge Prado is known as Mr. Holeshot, but it was Rowan van der Moosdijk who grabbed the Fox Holeshot in Race 2, his first and Kawasaki's first of 2019. He ran wide though. Behind him, Jago Geerts and Thomas Olsen. Lucky not to go down, but it was Boirame who did crash out in turn 1. By turn 5, Evans was at the inside and caught Prado by surprise. He took over the lead. Great start for the number 32 of Brent van Donnik. He was just inside the top 10, but it was another poor start for Olsen. Caught up in that first turn carnage. He sided his way through. He was quickly inside the top 10. Evans, though, was enjoying his time at the front for Honda 114 Motorsports. But he was being caught all the time by the Red Bull KTM, number 61 of Jorge Prado, who eventually made his move on lap 5 to take over the lead. Evans, though, tried to stay in the rear wheel tracks. A slight bobble, though, cost him a little bit of momentum. And that was all that Prado needed. But the 43 from Australia continued to push on. The two Yamahas of Chervelin and Maxime Renault did their best to keep Thomas Olsen at bay, but eventually the number 19 went through to 5th, leaving the two Yamahas to fight it out. They would eventually come home in 7th and 9th, Chervelin and Renault respectively. Jago Geerts was one of several retirees. Matthijs Boirame and Bas Varsen also on the sidelines in race 2. Dylan Walsh had an off-track excursion on his Revo Husqvarna, having come together with Ben Watson. Watson stayed upright though. Those two were fighting over 16th after Watson had poor starts in both races. The battle-scarred Yamaha eventually came home in 14th. Jacoby, though, with 4 laps to go, moved up the inside of Evans and into 2nd place. The Australian was now in 3rd. Rowan van der Moosdijk, in a rare appearance in MX2, was having a great ride, but Olsen found his way by to take 4th. Van der Moosdijk came home in 5th ahead of Brent van Donnik on the number 32 Honda Red Motor Assen Motor machine. Olsen just ran out of time in the latter stages, couldn't do anything about Evans. Jacoby hung on for a fantastic second place, but once again it was Prado. 10 wins out of 10 now for the young Spaniard. His 5th Grand Prix win of the season, and career win number 20 here in Portugal. Prado, your winner, Olsen second, Evans back on the podium for the first time since Argentina round 1. That's how it rounded out here in Portugal. And guess what? Prado is the new championship leader. And to the victor go the spoils. Prado now on 250 points, 3 clear of Olsen. Jacoby losing ground. Every picture tells a story. Welcome back to our live studio show on MXGP, everybody. Our second guest is in position, Arno Tonis from Monster Energy Wilvo Yamaha MXGP. And Arno, great to have you back, but you know what? Let's just cut straight to the chase. Last week, you had a huge smile on your face. The smile is still there. Just tell us about Portugal.
Yeah, it was amazing. You know, like, I've been through a lot, and being back on the podium was a very special emotion. Like you could see, I really expressed it. It was super cool. So somehow it stayed in me the whole week, and I'm still joyful about it. So it's super cool. Like I said, we go through ups and downs, but when it clicks like this, it's really enjoyable. And yeah, I felt like my riding was solid. Also, I had to fight through it. Was not only like the result itself, but the way I rode the whole motos and battling with the guys. It was very cool for me.
But you were up there in all sessions, in the free practice, the time practice, the qualifying race, and then you polish it off with 2 motos as well, 2 solid third-place finishes. That must be good for yours and the team's morale.
Yeah, exactly. The team was really happy about the attitude, the riding, everything. Also the start. My start were great, so it was also, yeah, happy for Rene. You know, the guys working on the engine really hard in the team, and first all shot of the year. So everything felt great, and like you said, solid motos, 2 third place.
Yeah,
look at that place. I loved also the comment you said, welcome back to the podium, my friend. It really fitted to the emotion. Was really cool.
It was a fantastic moment. Last week was pretty hard pack. It's going to be similar here in France. And I know in 2014 you were second here in MX2. So obviously a place that you like.
Yes, it's a place that I like. It's really a ground where I grew up onto. You know, in Switzerland, it's also this kind of dirt, pretty hard pack. And my parents have a house not so far from here, so I used to come on this track and ride in the area when I was a kid. So it's a place that I know.
Actually, I remember when you were on Suzuki, Kenny used to come and ride with you down here as well, didn't he?
Yeah, exactly. We were practicing here in the winter together and have a few sand tracks near the sea and coming in Saint-Jean to ride on hard pack. So yeah, it's a region that I like. I also speak French, so it feels pretty much home for me.
Yeah, exactly. Well, more from Arno in a minute, but here's how you can get involved with MXGP in 2019. Here's another quick reminder of how you can watch MXGP this year with our MXGP TV season package, which includes live and on-demand action from every round of the season, including qualifying races, the FIM Monster Energy Motocross of Nations, WMX, and all EMX European races. It's the only place to watch every second, every weekend, every race of MXGP absolutely live. Also included is our studio show and our 26-minute highlights program, Behind the Gate, which is available every Tuesday after each GP. For more info, check out our website, mxgp.com, and enjoy. There's a lot going on in that package, so it's well worth it. Yeah.
Loads. Well, look, Arno, back to you. That result last weekend pulled you up to 9th in the championship, so you're in that top 10. But when we look at Trentino, the signs were already there, weren't there? 4th overall. You showed signs of getting back to your normal speed, where I guess you expect to be.
Yes, exactly. It took me a little bit of time. I felt like I had a good preparation this winter, but you cannot replace racing. I mean, I was off for a year, so I kind of struggled to really pass guy. You know, I was often stuck behind them and lose my rhythm and my focus. So I felt like I really needed to get back on that aggressivity and this kind of stuff. And yeah, I feel like now I can contend for top 5 and podiums, and that's where I want to be.
All right, we're going to speed through these. We've got 5 social questions.
A few questions for you on social. Molia Exox, hopefully I pronounced that right.
They're probably kisses in hugs.
Yeah, probably. What's it like riding motocross as a job?
It is demanding. Like, we go through a lot of tough time and also some joyful time, like I experienced last weekend. And it's not really like a job. You have to think and breathe it every moment. You know, if you want to be at the top, it's something that you always want to improve and always want to get better. It's not like you go to your practice and then you're done, it's finished till the next race. You're always thinking and try to understand and improve and get better. So it's demanding, but it's cool. I enjoy it a lot, and yeah, I really take it as a gift. I'm happy to do it as my job.
Okay. From Simone Carrera, 54, how much cardio and gym work do you do in the week?
In the week, probably 3 times plus the racing. So, but during the season, the program is a bit different. We do a lot of recovery thing and try to oxygen the body as much as we can, because it's a lot of races in a row, so it's already intense.
Yeah.
We have probably the Wednesday is the day where you push your body pretty hard, but the rest is more a few exercises here and there, and try to really be fresh for the weekend.
Yeah, okay. XX Mateo 211, what is your favorite food?
It's raclette. It's a Swiss cheese.
Oh, I
you
love
know?
that.
Do
Yeah.
you love that?
Yeah. And do you dip it in something, or you dip something in it, or?
No, you just warm it up and then put it on potatoes or stuff like
yeah,
that.
I
This
love
is
that.
amazing. Yeah.
It is delicious. Not very healthy, but it's good.
Oh, well.
Coming up on next week's cookery show with Lisa and Arno.
No, I do love
so
that.
good.
It's
Yeah,
delicious.
It's more something that you eat in the winter, but yeah, I could go through all the time.
Nice, nice. Okay, so from OwenJD03, what's your favorite track?
I would say Matterley. I really love that track, and it's a very special place. And the track is also huge. You know, it's not something we used to. It's a little bit tough in the beginning for time practice and everything. It seems like the lap never end up, but it's really big jumps and really cool to ride.
Okay.
And wide.
Wide, yeah, wide and a bit too wide sometimes, because the track this year sometimes was no like boundary, and we went a little bit even wider than that. So. It's a cool feeling. You can change your line a lot, and yeah, it's nice to ride.
Okay, and finally from Austin at top 31, do you believe you can be world champion?
I do believe inside myself that I can be, and if you don't, then it's a shame for yourself, because we all strive to be the best, and you have to believe in it. Whatever I've been through, I feel like I have this in me, and I will do everything I can to make it happen one day.
Okay.
Cool.
Brilliant.
Well, look, we had a minute or so left. Just looking at the track conditions here at the moment, we had a big rainstorm yesterday, but it looks like it's done the track a lot of good. They've obviously watered it overnight and this morning as well. Looks amazing.
Yeah.
Track's amazing, like you said. Yeah, we had the perfect rain yesterday. Just watered the track naturally, and it seems like now it's going to be a really good weekend.
And then you touched on it before. It is kind of a nice track. You know it well. I mean, what is it like to ride now? I rode it years ago when it was kind of a little bit different in the middle, but it's it's changed a lot. How is it to ride? Is it a difficult place to pass on, or does it get pretty?
To be honest with you, I didn't ride this layout yet. It was a little bit different also the last time I rode here in 14, but it seems like it's a bit more flowing now, and also the way they prep the track is a lot better. The track is a lot better than it used to be. They rip it more, and it's more lines. Usually when you came to a French GP in the past, it was just hard pack and dusty and pretty tough to pass, but now I think they improved a lot on the preparing of the track, and it's good for racing.
Cool. Well, look, Arno, thanks for joining us here
Thank
today.
you very much. Thank you.
Hope you enjoyed our chat there with Arno Tonis. We'll be back in just a few moments with Eric Sorby. Of course, he's an ex-rider and now trainer as well. So we'll catch him in a moment. But before that, let's catch up with some MXGP highlights race 2 from Portugal. See you in a moment. As the riders crossed the Fox Holeshot line, it was number 4, Arno Tonis, who got there before everybody else for his and Yamaha's first Fox Holeshot of the season, but it didn't last long. He ran wide, de South snuck up the inside and into the lead, closely followed by Tony Cairoli. Geiser was in 4th, but he lost a couple of positions early on to Siwa and Paulin. Fevre gave a watching brief. De South tried to make a break for it on his Monster Energy Kawasaki, as Geiser was lucky to stay up on the opening lap. Jeremy Siwa all over the back of Geiser as the Honda rider came through into 4th place. Cairoli knew he had his hands full as well. After his mistake in race 1, he wanted to do all he could to pull back those points he lost to Geiser in that first race. De Salvo enjoyed his time at the front on the number 25 Kawasaki, but Cairoli was closing in fast. 4 Yamahas in the battle, all led out by the number 4 of Tonus. Cairoli eventually got himself onto the rear wheel of De Sal just before the halfway mark, as Geiser was closing in on the Italian in 3rd. That was a move that saw Cairoli take the lead. De Sal lost drive, and just as soon as Cairoli had gone through, Geiser had moved into 2nd as well, pushing the Belgian back to 3rd. Cairoli then made another mistake that allowed Geiser, De Sal and Tonus through. Having to fight back, Cairoli was in 4th. Tonus moved past, and so too did Cairoli as they took over the 2nd and 3rd positions, and with 4 laps to go, the 222 moved into 2nd, but by then Geiser was just too far ahead. Romain Febvre had a great ride in 6th, but Jeremy Seewer crashed out of 5th in the latter stages, came home in 10th. But it was Tim Geiser who picked up his 5th race win of the year, an emphatic double moto win here in Portugal. Cairoli was 2nd, Tonus 3rd, De Sal and Paulin rounded out the top 5, but Geiser stands on top of the podium for the 2nd time this year. Cairoli still leads the championship, but that lead has been cut to 34 points now after the dominant display from the Honda rider, Tim Geiser. It's Geiser's 17th career victory now. Arno Tonus back on the podium for the first time in 2 years on his Yamaha. What a fantastic day we had here in Portugal, round 6 of the FIM Motocross World Championship. And we're back for our 3rd and final final part.
You're right. Put your teeth back.
I'm okay. It's the beans you had last night, I think. Anyway, we're back here for the final part of our MXGP TV studio show. Oh, she's gone. And, well, our final guest is in position here, of course, Eric Sorby. And, Eric, I know you as a rider, a former Grand Prix racer, and, of course, a rider in the US. So you've ridden both sides on the Atlantic. But first of all, great to see you. How are you? You're looking fantastic, by the way.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Glad to be here with you guys. And it's been a good year so far for me. So I'm glad to be back in GPs. You know, I've been, like you say, I was racing here at GPs back in the days, and I went to America and moved back like 6 years ago. And I was a little bit off of the racing, and now I'm back, and I'm really happy.
Obviously, there are some people now watching might not know so much about you, but obviously, coming from France, you would have rode the French Championship, 125 GPs before you went to the US, some 1 or 2 years?
Yeah. I raced 125 GPs. I think my best result was 7. A bunch of top 10, 17 overall. That's why I got the 917 in America.
Okay.
Just to keep a little, some good memories from GPs. But yeah.
And how is it working with Mitch? I mean, he's had 2 podiums already so far. The last was in Portugal last weekend. Is he a hard worker? We've just got a clip here.
No, it's how can I say? No, it's not hard to work with Mitch. He's a really good rider, really technical rider. So the hard part for me to get him better is to find some spot on the track where I can help him, for him to be faster really difficult to be around him.
Yeah. And for you as a trainer, do you feel the success of a podium as much as a rider that you're helping?
Because obviously he's had 2 podiums now this year,
yes,
one in Argentina and one here in Portugal.
You know, like I say, I'm here to help him where I can. You know, a trainer doesn't do everything. You know, we work as a team. We win as a team. We lose as a team. Mitch works really good. He has a good family behind him. He has a good team manager, as Livia. He has a good mechanic. He has me now, and like I say, we work as a team. There's no one person who do the full job. He does his job during the week, I do mine, and everyone around him do the same.
So we know you're working with Mitch Evans at Honda 114 Motorsport, Livia Lancelot's team, but you're also working with Amandine Verstappen in WMX. She's a young girl from Belgium. She won her first GP in Valkenswaard, 2 second-place finishes, but she also won the GP for the first time and therefore took her first championship leader's red plate. As a relatively new guy coming in, I know you've been around for a long time, but in terms of the coaching role and the people you're helping, I mean, it doesn't get any better than that so early on. You know, there you are, celebrating the podium, World Championship lead. It was a fantastic day for you and for her, I imagine.
Yeah, it was good for Amandine. I've been working with her for the last 2 years, and she's like Mitch, you know. When I'm not with her during the week, I know she do the job. Like on the track and off the track, she's really, really serious about her program, and that pay off in Valkenswaard. And but before Mitch and Amandine, I don't know if you guys know, but back in the days, I used to work also with one of the fast rider, and it's James Bobber Stewart, and it was really, really, really hard to be around this guy every day and also on a race day, and because the guy was just winning every weekend, and we only expecting him to win and not getting second, so it was really, really hard. So now to be with Amandine, and she's not the fastest girl in GPs, but she's right here, and so it's a little easy to be with Amandine than before, and now to be with Mitch is a little bit harder for me, you know, because he's one of the top guy. He can win some race. I don't think I would like it if it's happened this weekend in France, but we need like 2 or 3 races to be where we need to be, you know. He got some crash, and we be off the bike for like 2 or 3 weeks after Argentina, so now we like catching up, so
rebuilding.
Exactly, rebuilding, yeah.
Well, what difference can you make as a coach? I mean, what sort of information, advice do you give your riders? For example, this weekend with Mitch Evans, how will you help him?
I help him first. It's a lot of mental, you know, and a lot of top guy like him. Sometimes they think they're slow than everyone else. So I try to work with him to tell him, look, you're right here. You have good people around you. The bike, it's now we work a lot on the bike, and the bike it's really good. And I try to calm him down a little bit, you know, because he's really nervous. And also watching other riders like Prado or Olsen or Jacobi or other top guy, and see what they does and what Mitch doesn't does, and I try to adjust, you know. But I'm not the one who do the big difference. I'm here to help. So as Livia or the mechanic or everyone, even like the people from HRC, you know, they always came and talk to us between motos. So we work as a team, like I said before.
You're another pair of eyes, basically.
Exactly.
Always walking around, always looking for information.
Yeah, always looking for information, always looking for like the specific line on the track, and the safest one. Sometimes you have a good line, but it's not the one to take every lap, because it's going to be good for 2 laps, and if it's the 3rd laps, you end up on the ground. So, like I say, we try to adjust the track for Mitch, and he did really good last week, and I was really, really happy, because I went to see the 450 before the second model of the 250. I tell Mitch, over there you fast, and he switched line, and he passed Prado where Geiger was doing really good in the first model, and that's why he passed Prado. So I was really happy, you know, and now it's easy, you know. You have so many good riders, so you go look, and if you're not stupid, if you have a good eyes, you don't have to be a magician or the best trainer in the world to make the difference with your rider.
All right. Well, look, we are out of time. Eric Sorby, thanks for joining us here. I know 7 minutes goes faster. But thanks for your time.
No,
Obviously, I see you
again.
every week on the race. Good to see you again today, and first time on the studio show. But look,
Thank
we
you.
are out of time. If you're watching the action today on MXGP TV, first race up today. These are gate drops, by the way. 155, the EMX 125 race, presented by FMF Racing. 405, 250 European Championship race. And then MX2 and qualifying at 455 and 540. Hope you've enjoyed the action in the last 3 weekends. We'll take a break next week, but when we return, it'll be in Russia. So sit back and enjoy the action here from France today and tomorrow. Thanks to our guests, from myself, Lisa, and Eric here. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye for now.